back. I'm just gonna not put in the actual time. It's almost 12 p.m. But what am I doing? Uh-huh. Okay, that's fantastic. You did a great job with that one. But this time you simply entered 12, the default time. Default value. You didn't even try. I have to say I'm a little disappointed. Perhaps you don't think it's worth taking the time to set the clock correctly. Do you think I would ask you to set the clock if it weren't an integral part of the gameplay experience? I'm not trying to get angry. It's just that a lot of people ignore these gameplay settings altogether. You're not like them, right? No, I did set the time, actually, next time. Look, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, do me a favor and actually set the time. Okay, good. I do have this talk. Alright, I'll get you back. I'll let you get back to the video game now. Thank you. Well, welcome. We're back. There's some things we want to do, like in the office area. There's so many things. So many things. Oh, achievement. Yay, I came back. Yay me.
All of his co-workers were gone.
I want to see if
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
is the input screen on any of these? First of all, no input. Well then, we're gonna go do this. I don't know if this will. Is this thing on desktop too?
Oh, please.
It is.
Are you really just doing this for the trophy?
Oh, on PlayStation. I mean.
Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
No.
Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No. I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Oh, what's that? No, hang on. Let me up the sensitivity. Okay, 417. 17. It's over here. There it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
Will do. Which one's that? Oh. There it is.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
Okay. Can the bucket help me with this? No?
Now, back to door number 437.
Where's the new content door? Where is it?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine. All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Well, once we're done with this.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
We will go get the collectibles that we don't have. Come on, get up there. Get up there.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
There's so much to do.
Finish it
My
off,
goodness.
Stanley! 5 clicks on door 43.
Yeah!
We did it!
Achievement.
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really
Oh,
earned it,
sorry.
Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today.
Okay, now we're gonna go with the bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket and
We're
smiled.
gonna
He'd
take the
never
right
be
door.
alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Not. It's
But
really
Stanley
not.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, he didn't.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
That's where
cargo
we're going.
lift. Yes, go there. Go to the cargo lift.
No, we're not. We're going this way.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all
No.
the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second one, and that will be
Perfect.
it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all.
Yeah.
You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Let's go to the vent. The vent. With the bucket. Nothing there. Bucket. What do you have to say about this?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so...
Oh.
What do I do with this treasure?
I didn't like that.
I can monetize it.
Oh.
Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
Well, that sure was creepy. Let's go again without the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Unless...
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Unless... Yeah. Alright, let's find another one.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
There's no computer on
Stanley
that one.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There it is.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where is it? There's no more computers over there. Right?
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Can I not do any more right now? I don't see any. Input. Things. Okay then. Fine. Where's my new content?
When Stanley came to a set of two open
No.
doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. We're going back in the vent.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it's. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Sorry.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's no input on anything. Okay, let's go to the red and blue door for the last figurine.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Okay,
Stanley
fine.
did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
Fine.
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked. In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again
Dark room?
obeyed blindly.
This is not a dark room. Oh, that one. I see.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick
What?
up the phone, and
What?
it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay, fine. Fine. So
This
many
is the
variations
sad
now.
story of the man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Oh, it's me. doesn't work. It's broken. Bucket? Hello.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
I don't know about that.
You see, he's not listening.
Bucket?
He's still taking orders from the bucket.
Bucket?
You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal. It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It does.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Yes.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
It is.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
Oh.
For the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No, it's mine.
Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it.
It's mine.
Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Are we done? I guess we're done.
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
Okay. No bucket. We're gonna go
When Stanley came to a set of two open
to
doors,
the
this
blue
was
and
not
red
the
door.
direct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. You're gonna jump off the cargo lift.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really?
Yes.
I was in the middle of something. Do you
We're
have
going this
zero
way.
consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly.
Stiggly Wiggly.
Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it.
Yes.
Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward.
Mm.
I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yes, I will.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution.
Is it this
Here,
again?
Let me show you.
Did I do this already? Might have done this already.
What do we want?
Should have brought the bucket.
What are we looking for? Here.
No. Let's start over. We'll go there again. With the bucket. Oh. It's
Stanley,
broken.
I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines.
The
Those
figurines,
figures.
yes.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Okay.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Let's do it. Where are they? Oh. That's new, right? Yep.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain?
Yeah, you never
We
know.
were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Can I get them all again?
And here was a second Stanlerine. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone
Aw,
6.
rude.
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you
The
remember?
bathroom.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You
Yeah.
picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Really? You sure about that?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I
Did
can't
we?
actually say I remember being
No.
in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, this is not what happened. But okay. Ah.
This
Yeah.
was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was in the warehouse. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh.
Enjoy.
Ah. Wow, it was beautiful. Absolutely breathtaking.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Is it the vent? Oh, it is. Ah,
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors.
yeah.
This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
Yeah.
Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh. They go to the same place. Yes. You are in the
And
present.
then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Ah.
No, I'm not done.
Oh?
I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the
Okay.
memory zone again from the
Yeah.
opposite direction. See how
Again.
that feels.
Let's do it again.
Okay, yes, the
Are you
room
back?
with the red and blue
It's back.
doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's
Yeah.
keep going. I want more.
Yes. Let's go. I should do this again.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I do. Oh, again. Oh, faster. That's good.
Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley.
Yeah.
Still no memory of this one.
We've never been here.
Though, a solid room.
It is a good room that we hadn't been in before.
These really were a cheap countdown. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Can I go to the office though? No, there's nothing there.
This was our second Figly. Don't you remember?
I
Yes,
do.
I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collect them all.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten
Ah,
that?
no one.
Classic memory, this one.
Yeah, same.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Yes.
Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
No?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Oh boy.
I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Is it? Are we still in it, or?
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries?
Okay,
Did something crucial happen while
okay,
my
we just start
senses
over.
returned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Do I need to do the normal ending again to unlock the new content door again?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'll do the actual ending once.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
There's more stuff to do down here too, though.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Another time. We'll do that.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What's that one say? I don't know. I can look later in the screenshot.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Man.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where
Many.
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Okay. Let's see if the new content door is back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Bucket? You coming with me?
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
No. No new content door. Shame.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
If we go to the phone room and unplug the phone
This was
with
not
the bucket,
correct way to the meeting room.
then what?
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The
No, let's
cargo
go in here
business.
with the bucket.
Go good.
Said the bucket.
Let's
Now
do the
ride
red door
lift all the way to the top.
with the
There's
bucket.
something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Well, this is not what the bucket asks. I mean,
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
oh. Is
Now
this a
then,
bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough,
Oh.
right? This should tell us
Oh.
everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay,
Oh, the choice of answering correctly or not.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3.
She keeps
Is
saying
this a
no.
bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item
Yes.
4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Correct. This
What?
is a bucket.
Where? How is that a bucket?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
How's that a trick question?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No.
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone?
Everything is
Everything
bucket.
disappeared. Wait, was everything a bucket?
Everything's a
Every
bucket.
single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Here we go again and
All of his
answer
co-workers were gone.
correctly.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I haven't heard her phone ring in a while. Okay, bucket. Let's go. Come here.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, we're gonna do the bucket
No,
game
Said the
again.
bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good,
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
I won't.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I'm going to not. I'm gonna answer correctly.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the
It sure
game
did.
if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
It's gonna be the same order.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
I'm gonna try doing now. See if it's the
Item
same.
1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Yeah.
Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket. Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket.
It is a
To be
tractor.
honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you.
It was.
Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
I don't know how it's a bucket, but okay.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere.
Oh. No.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
No, it's the
Every
same.
single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But
Okay.
if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
So I just googled how to get the new content door again,
All of his co-workers were gone.
and
What
it's
could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I have done 2 of the things you need to, but you had to start the game 4 times, and this is just the second time. So I don't know if that's gonna fuck up the stream or not. I don't think it will, honestly. So let's just try restarting it. Stop the stream when I close the game fully. But here we are. 5:09 a.m. is not accurate at all. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders. We've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Yes, and we will do that again. So the stream will go out. But it's important. Yeah, here we go again. No, we should be good. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. Until the dog and cat are friends. Let's do it. Friendship. Until the slide, please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. I can do that. That's 9. Should I do, be funny? I'm gonna do this one. Okay. Oh, I'll keep Boinkle for sure, for sure. Okay. I do. Yes. Yes. What is time? Nothing. Yes, there's many things. Yes. Yes. Okay. See if that did anything. Skip it. I don't know if that helps.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know if that did anything
When Stanley
for me.
came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I do want to go to the left door.
Yes,
I
truly
do.
a room worth
I do.
admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Go.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the
Yeah.
opposite door, and got back on track.
Yes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're gonna go down to the mind control facility and jump down.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
No.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Yeah.
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes. And then do this first.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Aha!
Aha!
You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome!
I did it.
You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Yeah.
Good job. You did it. Good job.
You did it.
3, 2, 1. Good job. You made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier. Chase your dreams. Railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Good job. You did it.
Good job,
You did it.
good job.
You did it. Nice. Well, I also haven't done this.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
Oh, no.
He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Oh. Okay, so I have to restart it one more time. Well, we're back again. This is a downside of streaming on a console. What time is it? Does anyone really truly know? Of course they don't. Nobody knows anything. You and I don't even know each other. We're like strangers. Sure, I've adjusted all of the game settings to your exact specifications, but who hasn't? It's just what I do, like a day job. And now, the job is over. There's no more information for me to gather. I've collected all the data on you that I can. And I still don't really know you. And you don't know me. And neither of us know what time it is. I guess some settings are just unsettable. But if I'm being totally honest, Fog doesn't do anything in the game anyway. You won't have me here when the game starts next time, but that's okay. Video games were meant to be played alone. You like being alone, don't you? That's maybe the only information I really learned about you. Well, time for me to leave. So one more setting that we need to adjust. But it may take a little time before I'm ready for that. And it's not really in my job description. That's okay. Perhaps you'll see me again, if you can find me. Talk soon. Epilogue. Many, many years later. Am I in? I'm in. Desert again. Is this something? It's just sand. Oh, like that. Quickly. There you go. Sit on the chair. Lay on the chair. Oh, well, that's not good. Chairs. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can. I'm on the chairs. No, it's dark. Where's this going? Let's walk towards the sun. Oh. It's the memory zone. Oh no. I like that the generator is just on the sand. As if nothing happened to it. Oh no. Down here. Oh. What's this? Stanley Parable 2 review. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointing I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fanbase. Rather than expand on what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinite deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What are enjoyable bits about the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead, we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurine. Even this diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, though, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. A welcome reprieve from something. What's this? Cat dog? This thing is real. Stanley Parable developers. No more spin-offs, no more sequels. When Stanley Parable launched to massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception of the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions, as outlined in a press release they published today. It is clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been further from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game, and to stop assaulting fans with their reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. This is glowing. It's the gym button! Not the gym buttons. Oh no. Back here. Nothing. Oh yes. Give me them. Give them to me. Give them to me. No. Looks like it. Off we go. Oh. Back in the office. Oh, hello. Nice to see you. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable was not it's not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard, in fact. Let me show you. Together, we're going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also really need a really dumb subtitle for the game. Something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. Oh. Stanley's Big Octopus. It's perfect. Stanley Parable 3, Stanley's Big Octopus. That's absurd, I love it. Every time you restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, and then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It will just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Do it. Good. Nice agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing that the narrator never found a way to give you the broken trophy, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright. The trophy machine is all fixed. You see, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. The only last thing we need to do is enter the current time. And it is 1. I have to cycle up all the way here. Yeah. It's 1 p.m. Exactly. On the minute. Thank you. Yeah, Stanley's Big Octopus. No, I missed something. Ah. Alright, let's see. The new content store should be back.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm gonna bring the bucket.
The embrace of an old
Aha!
friend, a weathered companion. Oh, new
Dang it.
content?
It's back
What does
there.
that mean, new content?
Let's go in here. Oh? Is this the same? That's before? Is this new?
Hello, and thank you for
No,
playing
it's
the
the same.
Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yes.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
What does the bucket have to say about this? I wonder.
Wait, Stanley. I've just now realized. That bucket you're holding, it's the bucket I've been working on for my sequel.
Yeah.
How did you get your hands on it? Isn't this the preview to the sequel? How do you have the bucket already?
We've already been there.
This makes no sense at all. Hold on. Did I already show you my ideas for the sequel?
You did.
I don't remember doing that at all. You're seeing things all out of order.
Oh.
All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle?
There's no jumps.
The infinite hole, the giant door. Did you see them already?
Yeah.
Stanley, none of them are ready yet. I'm still developing them. They're not even close to finished. How did they look when you saw them? Were they captivating? Were they exciting? Did they fulfill on the promise of everything that a sequel to Stanley Parable could possibly be? Had I figured out how the hell to make a sequel to this game? Wait, if you're still carrying the bucket around with you, if the bucket is interesting to you, that means I must have made it correctly.
Yeah.
Yes. You carrying the bucket with you everywhere is exactly what I set out to accomplish. The bucket is the exciting and captivating new content that I promised. I did it! I win! I made a sequel to the Stanley Parable. Yes, the sign is correct. Thank you for enjoying the new content. Thank you for taking the bucket everywhere with you.
You're welcome.
Clinging tightly to the bucket, never letting it go. It means I've won. It means I am victorious over the gamers. It is a sweet salve of victory on my soul. Thank you for enjoying the new content. The bucket is the Stanley Parable now. They are one and the same. There is
Yes.
no Stanley Parable without the bucket.
It's true.
I win, 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 I win. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a... The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
Okay. Is he gonna
You
bring
see,
me?
Stanley,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
there
been
we go.
reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Da.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Bucket. Just want to see what happens when you bring the bucket to the bucket.
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh
It's my
no,
bucket.
the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Ah! Jesus.
Stanley! Oh, thank God.
Oh, the
An
bucket's
illusion.
exploded.
Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much.
Oh no.
I had to destroy
My
both
bucket.
of them. I know how much the bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope one day you can forgive me.
Screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is. Or actually, maybe I should have gone with...
No.
No, I've made
Oh, yeah.
my decision. We're moving on.
This is what we're doing. Trophy. Let's go get that trophy.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see,
boy.
you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you.
Okay.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah!
As
I
you can
got
see, the
it.
machine is not working yet since... Wait, what in the hell is going on? You
I
got
got
the
it.
trophy. Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it. I swear, it was broken just a second ago. Who fixed it? Is someone here? Are we being watched? Oh, God. Composure, composure. Yes, as you can see, the machine is working as normal,
Oh,
as
yeah.
I intended.
Yeah.
It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the Stanley Parable 2. Breathe. Just breathe.
We did it. Got it. Achievement, yeah.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
How's the collectibles looking now? Yeah. Not there. I have so many collectibles now. So many. I don't know if there's anything else we want to do in here. Maybe jump in the hole again. Wait. What about this place up here? How do we get in there? How do we get in there? Guess change some settings. Um, I did do that. I don't have mouse sensitivity. Do not have it. I did change those. Okay. Maybe I have to come back another time. Oh. Oh. That's what the translation labels are. That's new. The epilogue. Yeah.
An epilogue would be
Yeah.
fun,
Have
wouldn't
you
it,
been there?
Stanley? Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
That's weird. It's kind of good though that they have that option for those. Okay, let's leave.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's all right, have you seen everything you wanted to?
Mm-hmm.
Ready to move on now?
Yes. Yes. We're going.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it.
Is it?
I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Let's go in again.
This is the...
Skip it. Hey, what else is there to do?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Not much else. Like obvious things to do? Um... Dang it. If we had a jump left, maybe we could get in there. I want to jump. Let me in. In. Dang it. Let me in. Hmm. I mean, I don't think there's anything else left to do over there. Try bringing the bucket. We're very close to being done.
Not everyone
It
is so
feels.
lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
What haven't I done with the bucket? Maybe the blue door.
Stanley clutched the
We
bucket
can't get
tightly
to the
his
blue door.
chest and entered the door.
Alright.
This was not the
Yeah,
correct way to the
we'll
meeting room,
go
but
straight
Stanley had
forward
felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
with
that
a lift,
the
and we
employee
will
lounge was simply the place to be.
unplug the phone.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
See what happens.
Never mind.
If we
But
can,
the bucket was
unplug the
wrong.
phone and the bucket.
Stanley took
One.
the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I also haven't been up here
In
without
here,
Said
the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the phone.
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk.
It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is.
There is.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Oh?
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within
Oh.
90 seconds?
Oh, can it?
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes.
Oh.
Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh,
Yeah.
in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with
Okay.
one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To
What is
begin the
it?
joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Danny with a funny. Wow.
Good.
Oh.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long, and should include the same question reprinted several times.
It
Just
should.
to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not
Right.
simply filling in answers at random.
Right, of
And
course.
that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very
Oh,
existence,
Jesus.
and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Okay.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well,
A
no
little bit.
matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors
Okay.
and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Alright, let's go. Let's go.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery.
Okay.
You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now?
Oh, who knows?
Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
For sure.
The bucket spoke to Stanley.
The bucket spoke.
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
He's already funny. To be fair.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Oh, tempting. Oh, so tempting. Okay, fine.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video?
No.
I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay.
What? We're back at the phone already? No. What's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point. A dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
No?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these Jukes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see. Let's see.
Okay, that's one. That's,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
what could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
Yeah,
missed a
I'm
memo.
gonna head up to the office and see if I can do the thing where I enter and
When
exit
Stanley came
and
to a
get
set
locked
of
out
two open
of the
doors,
office,
he entered the door on his left.
the boss's office. I'm gonna try to get locked out. We'll see.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into it,
Did it. Okay. I don't know if I did it correctly. I might have fucked it up, but I did it. It would be funnier if he was still talking in the office. That would be funnier. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, I am leaving. Escape pod bay. Let's go. We're leaving. I also haven't done the, like, we turn on the mind control stuff. I haven't done that. I don't know if you will, but that's a common ending, right? Uh, come on. Up we go. How far up is this? Hello? Are we there yet? Oh, we're getting there. Can't see. Hello? Oh, there it is. Oh, we're back. That's it. Should we go turn the facility on? Do we? Yeah. I don't know if it's worth the time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Haven't seen any more of the input screens. Oh, there's one. Let's see if you can do that now. I want it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There it is. Okay. Again.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Where's the third one? This is where I ended up last time too. Hmm. Where's the third one? Did I do it wrong again? Did I mess it up? Can I go in somewhere? It's not in there. Right. Maybe it wasn't there. I'm just blind. There's no more screens to look at from this point. Hmm. I don't know what that's about. Who doesn't fire the baby? I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything else we want to do. I think I'm done since the input thing doesn't want to work for me. Let's try again. That's only what I want to do. Like, I don't really feel the need to
All of his co-workers were gone.
trigger the
What could
countdown.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Try it again. Maybe it'll work eventually. It's you. Oh, what could we do here?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This is not
Stanley
normal.
decided to go to
My
the
guy.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is simply not normal. Whiteboard ending. Yeah. Close it. Perfect. Dog mode. Give it to me. Oh, it worked. Yeah. Nice. Nice. I did it. Let's try this one. No. No. No.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Oh. Oh, I bark every time I press X now. Oh, Bucket's here. That's good.
It takes
Let's
a
go
lot of
Bucket.
humility to carry a bucket so magnificent. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
Here.
to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We'll do one more thing. We're gonna go to the mind control facility and turn it on
Still no one was
with
here.
the bucket.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
True.
Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Somehow.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
Yes.
Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I'm barking forever now. Forever and ever. That's fine. All good.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Yes. I also have
Stanley
not.
and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I have not done the escape, but I know what happens down there, so there's really no point in going for me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
No, no.
The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears.
Oh no,
as
not the
Stanley
bucket.
cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
That'd be okay, bucket.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
Was
Had
it?
the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
I don't know.
These questions raced furiously
It's a
in
good
Stanley's
question.
feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter, his one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Oh, here we are.
But here was the proof.
We're
The
here,
heart
bucket.
of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Two?
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way. And the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Where are the stairs? I can't see them. Where are they? Hello? Oh. Hello? Oh, I see them. How do I get there? How do I get up there? I can't see. Okay. Let's go turn it on.
When at last they came to the... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls.
Oh no!
Stanley
Bucket!
gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Oh no!
How could the
Bucket!
have betrayed him like this?
How could you,
Stanley
Bucket?
was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Oh? Yes. Bird.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds
Oh,
all
I want to
over
work
the
here.
world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
Is this the best
Stanley
ending?
and the bucket never found
by
freedom
far?
because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Yes.
And Stanley was happy.
No, let me look at the birds. We did it. Okay.
All of his co-workers
Let me
were...
check for the input
Wait,
again.
no.
Oh?
This isn't the right office, is it?
What?
Is this Stanley's office?
What? 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 What are you talking about? There's nothing weird going on. Okay. Except that comment. Let me grab the bucket.
Stanley cradled the bucket in a gentle embrace, protective yet delicate,
Anyways,
assertive yet compassionate.
I'm gonna have to stop there. I think I've done everything I want to do. I probably missed some things. Like, I know I didn't do the escape ending where you get crushed to death. I didn't do that. I didn't do the on button without the bucket, but I know what happened, so I don't really want to. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, wow. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.